We are on the cusp of Vikings football that actually counts. Vikings versus Giants preview. Let's talk about it. This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. I have 5 key matchups that the Vikings will really need to pay close attention to if they are going to pull off this victory. Number 1, Brian Burns versus Christian Darrisaw and or Brian ONeal. And I'm going to put an asterisk next to that because I'm not sure what the Giants really plan on doing with him. I think I do, but according to their depth chart, they have Burns listed as a 3-4 defensive end. I'm expecting him to play edge rusher because that's what he does, and that's what he does best. If they're stupid enough to play a 6'5", 250-pound linebacker as a 3-down lineman, you want to take him out the game yourself, you deserve to lose. The advantage here, assuming he plays edge rusher, still goes to the Vikings because both offensive tackles excel at lateral footwork movement. Brian Burns predominantly brings a speed element to his game, not much of a bull rusher. All you got to do is get your paws on him with that elite footwork that you have, Brian ONeal / Christian Darrisaw, and you neutralize him out the game. Last year against the Carolina Panthers, our tackles versus Brian Burns took him out the game completely. He had in that game just 1 tackle. That's it. Matchup number 2, Jonathan Grenard versus Andrew Thomas. You don't have Danielle Hunter anymore, the luxury of that where Hunter versus any elite left tackle in the league. As a Vikings fan, for years, we just shrug our shoulders and say, okay, we don't care, because 9 times out of 10, Hunter's going to win that matchup. You don't have that anymore. Jonathan Grenard has, I think, a solid balance of power and speed, but nothing over the top. Andrew Thomas he has a similar style to Christian Darrisaw in that he's nasty as hell, an absolute road grader. I don't really expect much from Grenard. If anything, it's going to be a bonus, which is imperative for Andrew Van Ginkel and Dallas Turner to be great on the opposite side versus their right tackle, Jermaine Illuminor. So it's really understanding you're probably going to take the L on the left side of the Giants offensive line, so you got to make do the best you can on the right side of that offensive line. Matchup number 3, the Vikings corners versus Malik Neighbors. I understand he's a rookie. However, he's been absolutely sensational in training camp, highly touted coming out of LSU. Many made the arguments that he's just as good, if not better, than Marvin Harrison Jr. Do not wait for him to pop off. You have to expect for him to pop off. We made that mistake in 2021 to start the season. Jamar Chase coming out of LSU, same deal, but didn't have as good as a training camp. His rookie year was dropping passes, but the Vikings sat back and was just like, all right, rookie, you need to prove yourself to the league. First game in his career against the Vikings, 2021. Jamar Chase, 5 catches, 101 yards, and a touchdown. Absolutely cooking Bashaud Breeland. You cannot let that happen again. Expect for Malik Neighbors to be a great receiver, so you have to cover him as if he's already a great receiver. We'll get to the key matchup number 4, but first sign up for BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Get a 150% bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. Just sign up, use the promo code YouTube150. Key matchup number 4, Brian Flores versus Daniel Jones. It is imperative that you put Jones on his ass. He's already a bad quarterback baseline, but the more that you can get him off base, moving around, panicking, the better for the Vikings as a team. If you remember in 2022, when he had those 2 good games, one in the regular season, one in the playoffs against the Vikings, it was because the pass rush wasn't there and the secondary played 5, 6, 7 yards off of their receiver assignments pre-snap, and Daniel Jones just got to sit around and pick the defense apart. Present different looks, overload blitzes, put him in his place. And you do that. I quite honestly feel like that's the biggest thing that the Vikings need to accomplish. They do that, they easily win this game. And lastly, key matchup number 5, Vikings interior offensive line versus Dexter Lawrence. If you want to have an effective run game, which is going to help out your quarterback Sam Darnold, speaking of which, also keeping Sam Darnold calm on his pass attempts, you need from this interior offensive line, I'm not going to say all hands on deck, but at least 2 pairs of hands on deck with occasional help from CJ Ham. Sam Darnold also has to be aware that he has to stay light on his feet. Expect to move around in the pocket. Don't just stand in the pocket as Kirk Cousins did on 4th and 8. Understand that Dexter Lawrence, more often than not, is going to win his matchups as long as you keep moving, staying aware of where he's at pre-snap, know where your first and second reads are. That's going to give you the best opportunities to make plays. Total points line for this game, as of this recording, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino, 41.5. I'm going to take the under here. I think it's going to be a battle of the defenses. Which quarterback between Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, if you're going to have a QB mid-off, which quarterback flinches first, or which quarterback flinches the most? You have to win this game. You want to shock the world and prove all the haters wrong and have a 2009-like experience with Brett Favre or 2017 experience with Case Keenum, but you want to do it now with Sam Darnold. You have to win this game. If you're going to make the playoffs, every win counts, and considering how difficult your schedule is after this game, you can't have a loss against the Giants be the deciding factor as far as whether you make the playoffs or not. It may sound hot takey, but I think this is a must-win game for the Vikings against the New York Giants. It's going to be a nasty battle. I think it's going to be 14-14, and then Will Reichert will come out onto the field and win it 17-14 Minnesota. Your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks again to BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. The live stream will be on Sunday about 15 minutes before the start of the game. We'll see you then.